back once again in the flesh for some Pathfinder action. I think our last game was in June, maybe. Does that sound right? It was a minute.
I've forgotten how to play Pathfinder, so bear with me.
Honestly, none of us ever knew to begin with. That's the secret, Austin.
Just make it up as I go.
Yeah, we just make it up as we go.
Sail confidence.
Well,
It explains so much.
So, a broad recap to kind of get us back in the mindset of our heroes here in this epic story. Last we left, you had just concluded what I personally believe was Garm's favorite part of the adventure, negotiations with House Thrune. You see, you have done a lot of work. You've gathered all this evidence showing that when they wrote the contract between the nation of Cheliax and the armies, the infernal armies under Queen Abigail II, her infernal magistrates, thrice-damned House of Thrune, long may she reign, all that stuff. They left a loophole in that contract that is Kintargo. Abigail, in her clever mind, realized that if all this stuff went tits up and Cheliax was going to be, consumed by hell, and, her plots for conquering and domination and unification failed, she didn't want to be left holding the check at the end of the night. She didn't want to be the last person without a dance partner, whatever analogy you want. So she included a loophole where one could splinter off Kintargo, and if you were ratified as the Lord Mayor of Kintargo, you would no longer be the ruler of Cheliax, and thus you would not be thrice damned and sent to hell 3 times over, and all the other bad stuff. That would fall to, your seneschal or whoever was next in line. So she set all this up 100 years ago. But Cheliax worked great. She never needed to come to pass, so it's just kind of all forgotten about. Fast forward 100 years, you all have done all this heroic stuff with Kintargo. The people here really don't mesh with the people of Greater Cheliax. You've thrown off the shackles of the oppressor, Barzillai Thrune, with his really archaic rules and regulations. And, he was kidnapping citizens. He was passing all this legislation. There was terror in the streets. You defeated your foes, secured alliances, kind of secured the borders of Kintargo from the outside, went back inside, defeated Barzillai himself, and freed the city. You used this information you learned to put into writing to put into practice what Abigail had written 100 years ago, or had written 100 years ago by this contract devil, who you actually ended up meeting with when you went to hell briefly. And you used it to your own advantage to have Julia Borealis reinstituted as the Lord Mayor, and cross your eyes, dotted your T's, got some signatures, and have declared Kintargo and the Duchy of Ravenel separate from Cheliax. And as if that isn't enough, after this last negotiation with Cheliax, it is more than anything cemented the fact that you are like an independent nation. Even Cheliax is acknowledging your independence. The fact that they had these negotiations with you in your capacity as a nation and as, an independent city-state of Kintargo. So you've kind of finished everything off. Does anyone remember, now that I've pontificated for so long, does anyone remember what happened at the end, the little cliffhanger that I gave you guys 2 months ago?
Someone Barzillai's dead. Or Barzillai's alive.
Yes. Once you guys finished, we found ourselves, the camera or whatever, takes your mind's eye to what could probably only be hell. This infinite plane of all these spires of bone of infinite height. Think the towers of Mordor or whatever, just towers upon towers, but they're bone white. And there's fire and brimstone and molten flames all around you. There's no real ground to speak of. It's like an infinite plane of depth and length. And we zoom in on one of these towers all the way to the top. Sitting there on this bone throne is something that kind of looks like Barzillai, shrouded in darkness, as of course this is the teaser trailer for the video game, so we haven't fully developed the character yet. So it's just the teaser, and it's definitely Barzillai's voice as he speaks, and maybe his face, but he's like monstrous. Something has happened to him, and there's all these chains coming off of him onto like the platform he's on, as if he's like chained to the top of this tower. And as the camera comes on his face, he's like, it's time. And that's where we ended. Something along those lines. Maybe he said something like, the fools know not what they do. But, same, 6 of one, half a dozen of another. So, that begs the question, how are y'all returning to Kintargo?
Well, the negotiations went very well. So
I had a great
smugly.
time.
Even a cellist person died. That was honestly the highlight of it for me.
Well, you brought them back to life. They got better.
Yeah, but they still died.
Like, well, bad.
And that made me feel better.
Ever the pacifists, Caerrat.
It was a brief respite from the pain of negotiating with them.
Wait, is Caerrat getting off when I'm killing all these Cheliac soldiers?
We didn't kill him.
I've killed lots of people.
These were diplomats. They weren't people.
They're bureaucrats, Marty.
Sierra has no respect for their profession. He feels about them how you feel about the grunt level 1 Jellish foot soldiers. The callous disregard you had for their life. That's Sierra's opinion.
Well, you always have the Rexus portal option. You could also just hoof it a week overland.
Oh, yeah, I hook hands together and we just word a recall back.
Okay.
Let's go, team.
Power of friendship.
Yeah, you return to town. What do you guys want to do? Like, the campaign is effectively over as far as you
We won.
Like, time to retire, right?
Yeah, so you kind of like set back down into those lives you'd started. This is the second false summit of the game. So, but this time it's not even 24 hours will pass before through the network of Ardent Crows and your various allies, with Julia Borealis, the halfling woman, Rexus, people that have their ears to the ground and, are milling with the common folk. The rats of the sewers, Sezzix, will come to you and tell you what they've heard. It's almost as if, like, the whole city is, like, haunted. There's weird stuff going on. Like, they hear, like, the barking of dogs, and then they go there and there's no dogs, but there's, like, burn marks with, like, the smell of brimstone in the air. Or, a few people have been, like, jumping off of the Silver Span Bridge and, like, committing suicide. It's kind of becoming, like, a Japanese suicide bridge.
I think the tieflings are eating the cats and the dogs.
There's like this section of Old Town where as people walk through it, they feel like the weight of shackles on their wrists and ankles, and they almost feel like they can't leave, but as soon as they like round the corner or whatever, they don't feel it anymore, and as they look down, they'll have like wear marks on their wrists and ankles as if they've been wearing shackles for like decades. At night, they say there's a ghost that's lurking in the campus area, laughing maniacally. Just little things like that. Try to remember what the fifth one is off the top of my head. There's five distinct things. So there's some dogs. There's that suicide bridge. There's a woman that's, the ghost that's crying at night. Oh, and probably the most disturbing, just visually, as you can see it, is over the Temple Hill district, there is, like, dark clouds that have formed. like perpetually. Like the rest of it'll be nice and sunny like the background of our fantasy grounds, but like there are like obvious dark clouds over that section of the city.
Like that place is specifically just having a bad time.
Yeah, and like people there are like, you know, word on the street, like you've sent some scouts in there, and the ones that have come back have been like, they really, they're not liking you over there. They're talking a lot of shit about the Ardent Crows. It seems as if a hero's work is never done.
So I've finished prepping planning the party for like the post celebration. My vendors keep canceling on me because like horrible things are happening. Like they get spooked and their wagons like run off or something.
Yeah, it's just gotten like really off-putting. And the locals as usual are, you know, turned to you. Hey, what's going on? Rexus is poring over various scrolls and books and stuff that you guys have acquired over your adventures. And he's like, I see no mention of this anywhere. I don't know what's happening. You know, there's lots of mentions of, you know, this process and the contract Barzillai had with Mephistopheles, you know, to kind of have his heart removed, but to what end? I don't know. There's references to a soul anchor. It'll take me some time to put this all together.
Thank you, Rexus. We're gonna go hunt down some hell dogs, and you know, presumably that'll lead into one of the other ones. This is gonna be horrible.
Sure. Yeah.
Can I get a rest, please?
If you would like to.
Time to investigate.
If you would like to get a rest, I can allow it. I think we go here, rest, long rest. All right. Just going to write down the number 1. The amount of days you have spent. Not that it matters. No, take your time. At your own speed.
Our leisure.
Nah, I just like giving you guys shit. So yeah. It seems as if kind of anywhere in the city there's something going on. This morning as you wake up, you hear rumors of like people disappearing off the streets. You know, more bodies are floating off the bridge. Maybe like someone's business was burned down and they heard the baying of dogs. Some students went missing. They tried to track down this wailing woman over there in the whatever district that is, and they never came back. Let me tell you what district that is. The Noble Quarter in the Greens. They tried to track them down, and they never came back. Also, there's talk of maybe dissension coming from the Temple Hill district, where those dark clouds are forming.
All my haters are putting such a bad mood on the place. Look at them.
So yes. Where would you like to travel to first? Fucking Absalom, just done. We're just gonna go to another city.
I kind of hate this place.
The city's, hey, we got you your freedom, we're out.
That's the Bahamas.
We could even go to Magnemar. That place is chill this time of year. I'm leaning towards either the Noble District or go deal with like the dogs.
Yeah, if you tell me what event you're interested in, we can go there. I might have got some of the districts wrong, but
yeah, any event works.
Dogs?
To the dogs?
Dogs.
Oh, what a good... I want you guys to start off with the dogs. That's what I was hoping.
Puppy.
So, yeah. There are dice rolls here, but I'm just not going to have you do them. DC 15 diplomacy check. I don't see a point when your bonus is like 35.
Listen.
Oh, hold on, I can roll that too.
So, yeah, you can't fail. So, like, you come into the district, you you kind of come in here and all of you have been to hell before. You know this smell. This is the smell of brimstone. Whoever said that, like whatever, like low-level sorcerer or whatever who's dabbled in demon summoning or dabbled with devils, any of the Diabolists, they were right. This is definitely brimstone, and it smells as if like it's kind of potent. It's pungent, as if maybe there's something here that shouldn't be here. And in talking with the people, they tell you that there's like a pack of dogs. I don't even know. You could call them dogs, but they're so large. They're the size of wagons, and they've been roaming the streets. They're using a burned out tenement as some sort of den, and every so often they come out and pick people off the streets. That's why we're all in hiding right now, as he says to you through like the little shutters on his business that he's opened to talk to you.
Oh, perfect. We got that. That's what we're here for.
All right. I have some general questions for the party. What is your attack bonus for the three of you that attack? I believe it's over 30. No, just your attack bonus.
Oh, okay. 32.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
24.
Okay.
25.
All right. They have an AC of 26, so none of you can miss except on a natural 1. So, you guys come upon these 4 dogs, if you could even call them dogs. They are huge, mechanically large size. Give me a knowledge planes check as you see them. These are definitely some sort of hellhound, but they seem substantially more twisted. These are some sort of Nessian warhound. You know that they come from the 8th layer of hell, Caina, Mephistopheles' realm. Fun fact. You know that they have the ability to dimension door at will. They can see invisible, and they are vulnerable to cold. They are also, imbued with fire. All their attacks do fire damage. They can breathe fire, things like that. Describe to me how you guys dispatch these hounds as they charge you, baying, spraying flames across the ground. We can go ahead and roll initiative so you guys have an order to go into, but I'm not going to put any sort of creatures here on the map. How do I even roll initiative in this game?
Is this the CR12 encounter?
This is a CR12 encounter.
Not great.
They have 173 health and an AC of 26. The one thing you will notice, everyone give me a fortitude save. Maybe you'll get to see the one thing they can do. Perfect. Sezzix, as these dogs close in, you are beset with excruciating hunger pains. You become fatigued as all of the food in your stomach seems to evaporate, and it's as if you haven't eaten for weeks. Mechanically, you take 3d6 points of non-lethal damage. End of ability.
Oh. 3d6 and fatigue?
So we're going to say 11. We'll round up in my favor. 11 points of non-lethal damage are struck to your character, reducing your health to a paltry 110. How do you kill this dog that's closing in on you, Seishi?
We're just going to shoot each of them in an eye and then let the team finish them off.
Yeah. Your shots ring true. Maybe you get a crit on one and just blast side of its head off. As the bullets hit them, the holy energy that's imbued into your rifle, interacts with their extraplanar matter and just kind of sears through them, and there are these little flashes of light, just like this blinding white light. And the dogs are all kind of dazzled, and one of them just slops over. It crashes into a cabbage cart, give you the Avatar nod as it's charging towards you. And, some guy comes up, my cabbages! But yeah, it's super dead. Buddy, you're up next. One of these dogs is nearly upon you. You, of course, shrug off this sort of hungering aura, if we were to give it a name.
Yeah, I'll just cast punch a few times.
Yeah. So you just tear into this thing. These are what these dogs look like. And they are, you know, let's say 13 feet long or something. So they're big boys.
They're a big dog.
That's a big puppy.
So yeah, this thing like puts its mouth over you and starts dripping fire onto you. It burns into you. You probably take some damage. And then, yeah, you just claw into this. It doesn't seem to have a very good defense. Probably this is something that would have posed more of a threat to you before you, like, defeated Barzillai. But at this point, it's you know, it was dead the second it closed distance with you. As you rip its front legs off and, like, toss its body to the side.
It did all the work, I mean, you know.
Yeah. That leaves the one on Tommy.
Is it on top of me? Like on top of me?
Sure, yeah. It's closed with you. It breathed fire all over you. But you throw the cabbage merchant in front of you. Take cover as he's incinerated.
Jesus.
Want to see him again?
Well, hold on now. I probably would have dodged with my full plate, just saying.
Oh, sure. Give me a reflex save. You want to play that game? I can make you roll this.
Fuck yeah. All right.
Have you guys seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nada.
You were successful, and you take 24 fire damage from this breath weapon.
Hell yeah.
But of course, knowing what you were going into, I imagine Caerrat's already expended one spellcast of communal resist energy fire, and you will take no damage.
Yeah. So I'll probably just do a full round attack.
I got you.
Yeah, just one attack. You're gonna try to kill it in a single blow.
No. I'm gonna full round attack it.
You do think that this thing is only, 30 Vegapygmies tough. You could probably bisect it with a single well-placed Vital Strike.
I don't have Vital Strike.
Oh, well, I guess full attacks it is then.
Yeah.
That's your other character.
I don't have a Vital Strike. No. I haven't played a Vital Strike character before.
It'd be sweet if there's like level 16 feet that's like you forgo all of your attacks for this round to like triple the critical threshold of your first attack. As you like
just one big hit.
Yeah, so it's like Vital Strike, but it's crit strike or something. And you have to have all the Vital Strike feats to take it.
You just have like a keen scimitar, so you're guaranteed to crit.
Yeah.
Critting out of 5 through 20.
That's just how we roll, baby. That named bullet, but for your sword. Dude, I love named bullet. It's like my favorite.
Named bullet's
spell.
so fucking dumb. I love it.
We while Tommy's figuring out his damage, let me tell you a brief story. So for those that don't know, the spell named bullet is it's like a 3rd or 4th level ranger inquisitor spell. You inscribe a creature's name or its specific type onto your bullet, and then you make a ranged attack, and it's a guaranteed crit. That's how it works. So the theme is that you're like, this bullet's got your name on it, son. I'm saving this one for you. And it lasts for like hours, so you're supposed to do it long before combat. So we were playing a high-level game, and I was playing my Gunslinger, who's like, his theme was the fastest gun in the West, so he had a really high initiative. And we get jumped by a bunch of these, like, they're effectively giants, but they have lots of class levels. Think like Mad Max-esque, because we're in like a desert plain, and they're kind of mutated. So they're like, they talk like this. They're like not all there. Like they've got like 2 heads and stuff like that. And they start beating the crap out of us. And our wizard does like an emergency force sphere. So we're just inside this dome, and they're like cracking through the dome because they do so much damage. And I like got my gun and I'm loading up, and I've got named bullet as a spell-like ability that someone gave me. And I'm like, what do they call you, ugly one? And he's like, I'm Marklar. And I'm like, Marklar. And as soon as it breaks, I just dome him and kill him. Named bullet. But I had to know his name because we didn't know what creatures they were. I was like, he's probably stupid enough just to tell me his name. So
Like bold enough.
yeah. Anyway, Tommy, back to your math.
Oh, do I have to do math?
Oh yeah, sure. No, you don't. I figured you were figuring it all out. No, yeah, you slice
Oh,
it.
yeah.
How do you kill it?
Yeah. Oh, I go for the legs, one sweep, all 4 legs off, cut it in half, and then the final attack just off with the head.
Oh my god!
I don't know if you can. I
Dog.
don't know if you can reach all 4 legs.
You gotta throw the scythe.
What's your span on a scythe swing? Have you been enlarged?
Did I buy you the wand of enlarge, or do I have it?
Sure.
I don't
So,
know.
like, as your swing begins, it clips the back too. The enlarged spell finishes mid-swing, and it, like, carries you through the front too. Because, like, the legs are probably 15 feet apart because this thing's, like, running, you know? So you, like, step to the side like a bullfighter and just sweep all the legs out from it. It's the top half of it will crash into the ground and leave, like, this bloody streak as it slides into the Cabbage Man's second cabbage cart, which he had parked safely around the corner. My other cabbages.
Yeah, Garm, I
super
forgot to give you 50 charges of enlarged person and 50 charges of reduced person.
49 charges of enlarged person.
Well, 49 now.
I will take those resources. They are mine.
Okay, well.
I'll add them to my tasty pile of resources I've consumed. Spirit, it seems as if your companions will have this in hand, and you kind of are sitting, you know, on your laurels as you do, watching Tommy butcher this creature. And as it dies and kind of disappears, poofs back to whatever plane it came from, you hear the breathing of some sort of large dog. And you feel the warmth of molten drool coming down your shoulder, and you turn around and you see there's one directly behind you, just standing over you. Of course, you take no fire damage having expended that spell. What do you do to protect yourself from this creature?
After a brief amount of crying, he is horrifying, and I do have a fear of anything that I can see the ribs of. They're not eating very well, you know?
Yeah.
Currently thinking about crying. I don't think that's productive. I'll speak to it in I have to speak Infernal, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah, it's based off your knowledge of things. These things speak Infernal.
Listen, where's Barzillai? What's going on with the clouds? Listen, you seem like a great puppy, and I really enjoy what you're doing. And like, I'll like brush some of the lava off of my shoulder. I know you're gonna bite me, but could we talk too?
It'll say, shoot I make noise in Infernal with its intelligence of 4. As it comes down to clamp its jaws across your head, you brace yourself for what you know will certainly be the death blow. And the scythe will like come through its neck. And its head will like fall off onto you and then disappear as the body poofs. And all of you, give me a you don't need to make the perception check. As you hear almost like a peal of thunder. Cattail. Garm screen cattail right now. Ready? See it? See it?
Oh my gosh.
It's like a feather.
He climbed into my lap.
Like a peal of thunder echoing across the sky. You hear like an angry cry. No! And it's very loud and, you know, inhuman. But you all recognize it as the voice of Barzillai. Everyone make me a wisdom check.
I am so wise. Ready?
I'm ready.
I'm always falling for stuff.
I see. It echoes through the clouds, bouncing off various, you know, mountains in the distance, and seems to, you know, come from everywhere at once, and you have no idea where specifically this cry originated. Yeah, I mean, with the last of those dogs defeated, the people will start like carefully opening their shutters again and coming outside. A small collective of people will come to help the cabbage guy like collect his cabbages and put them into a different cart. I'll try my luck somewhere else. I hear the Earth Kingdom is nice this time of year. Start like wheeling them off. Yeah. You guys did not succeed the DC 40 wisdom check.
4-0?
4-0.
How would you ever make that?
That's a fantastic question, Garm.
How? Like,
Don't worry.
Like, even if you
Don't worry.
passed it, like,
There's
it would be
more
maybe
evils to
30.
dispatch, and perhaps the check will get easier the more you dispatch. I don't understand why it has you do it. It's like you gotta roll 20. Anyone who's met Barzillai in person recognizes this muffled cry as his, and can attempt a DC 40 wisdom check to pinpoint the source.
I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure it's the cloud.
You want to
Yeah,
go to cloud
as I
next?
said, the difficulty curve here is like, woo.
Okay.
But yes, you have the suicide bridge. You have the wailing woman who wails at night. You have some sort of, weird thing going on with like shackles and, people feeling like they've spent time in a prison when they pass through some area. And the last thing is these dark clouds, in no particular order, that are over the Temple Hill district.
Wasn't there a bridge people were jumping off of?
Oh yeah, the old Kintargan suicide bridge. Yep.
You want to go there next?
Yeah, every morning they seem to fish more bodies out of the docks of people that have jumped off the bridge.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, you guys want to head over there?
Well, let's go put an end to that.
Yeah, you head over to the Silver Span. This one's a little harder. It's a DC 20 diplomacy check to gather information on what's happening here.
Tommy, you've been working really hard. I believe in you. Go talk to these people.
Ooh.
Oh, Tommy.
Ooh. I fumble. I still got this dog blood on me, and I
help.
Never took it back.
There ain't no Silver Span, and there never was. And she'll like slam her shutters, and it's like a coffee, like a barista or whatever, on the bridge itself.
Oh, my young, intrepid adventurers. I'll put a hand on both of their remarkably muscular bodies. You two have so much to learn.
You have to like reach out to them.
So much to learn about the gentle art of diplomacy. I'll fluff my wings out. I'll straighten my shirt up. I'll go talk to some random people for a while.
Yeah. 50.
I'm only 6 feet. You don't got to put your hand up too high.
Yeah, you like turn around from where they are, and there's like a small, like someone has laid out some candles and some flowers where like a loved one has jumped off.
Oh,
It's like 5 feet
Official.
away. They just didn't ask the right people. It's all about who you ask.
it's official.
Yeah,
Look, the woman crying, screaming about her son jumping off the bridge.
sure.
Oh, she
yeah.
might be a good
You
son.
go talk to the woman. She's pretty beside herself, but you spend 1d4 hours mechanically comforting her, and she tells you that her son was always like, hey, this is so unlike him. He was such a happy boy. He's smiling in all these photos that I don't have because they don't exist, but in all my memories he's smiling.
Good save.
If there was some way to capture someone's appearance and freeze it into an illustration, that would make this easier.
And maybe like a snapshot.
Yes, some sort of shot of time snapped for all eternity. Yeah, she tells you that it was like super out of character, and you hear from other people who are like, yeah, there's sounds, you know, we've heard sounds. I saw some sort of like floating skulls, like ghostly skulls have like come out of the stones of the bridge at night, and they haunt passerby. And her son was going across the bridge doing his, you know, midnight paper route, and they found him. He actually didn't drown. He used his sack with all of his newspapers in it, and he tied it off to a lamppost, and he hung himself. And they found him dangling from this lamppost right here in the morning when we came and opened all our shops.
Why is he delivering newspapers at midnight, not like early in the morning?
You gotta, it's competition, vertical integration, global.
You don't deliver at 3 in the morning, then the people wake up at 3:30.
They start explaining to you that it's really just about how the trade here works. There's people that will go down and get salt out of the water. As you know, there's very good salt mines here, and they'll form those salts into various shapes for easy transport, usually like cube sized or block sized. And then in order to drag those across, they put chains through them. So this block chain makes it really easy to transport those goods. And then really it's a superior method. They start trying to convince you that you'd be better served to invest in midnight newspapers and blockchain salts rather than your gold. You're more than welcome to delete any amount of gold from your character sheet. I might give you gold at some point in the future, most likely not.
I'll mark up 6,000 gold.
Perfect. Yeah, you invest in the blockchain. You think it's a really good investment. But as soon as you try to explain it to someone else, you have no idea how it works.
I wasn't paying attention.
Mark off 1,000.
Perfect.
Had me at salt.
Any other stupid questions, Cobra? That's what you fucking get.
No, I'm thinking of investing in crypto now. Too bad I spent all my gold on wands.
Oh, how dare you put your things into tangible goods that have actual value instead of liquid currency.
I got like...
Hold on. I do have some kind of... I think it has value. I think they say it has value.
Yeah. There's also someone there selling various chunks of bark that they've like scribed various art into, but rather than, you know, having a bunch of unique art, they just kind of have the same character but with like a different hat maybe, or like different piercings, and they'll have hundreds of these. And you notice that a majority of the wood that they're working from is covered in fungus, but these are non-fungible tokens. And he'll also sell you these. You could again purchase as many as you want, delete however much gold you want from your character sheet. Again, they have no actual value, but at some point in the future I may give you gold. Of course, more likely than not I won't. So those are also available for purchase here.
Do a couple of them have very suspicious hats of famous dictators from like the 1930s and 40s?
There's a bunch of like pro-Chelish ones. Seem very out of place here. There's all sorts of Easter eggs. One guy's like, it's a treasure map that'll lead you to like all of the you have to go to all the different Thrunes places, and yeah, they seem like.
Can I use my salt blockchain to buy?
That is in fact the only way you can get these. You have to first buy the salt blocks and then exchange the salt.
Well, yeah,
blocks
I already have 6,000.
Yeah, you can do that. You can totally exchange that for as many of these non-fungible tokens as you'd like.
Yeah, can I exchange? I'll have 3,000 of each.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually buy some for 200 gold.
Sure. Yeah. First, you have to buy the salt block chains.
I'll buy 200 gold. Yeah.
Well, your 200 gold of salt blocks is actually going to be worth less than it would have been.
Okay. The 300 gold of salt blocks, so I can get the 200 gold.
Yeah, you've subjected yourself to the fear of missing out on the value of these salt blocks.
Tommy actually got to start by buying Shungite. That's how he met Caerrat. So this is actually something Tommy would call for.
Actually, Tommy, don't mark off any gold. You know this guy. This is like, you helped him with his startup. You collect all this money from everyone else. But then you reinvest it into the salt blocks.
Yeah.
You're the one that's like, hey, we should talk to my buddy over here.
I'm gonna hold on to the salt though, because I do actually enjoy salt.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
just
they're
keep it.
actually the guy you got hooked up with is a cipher mage out of Riddleport. But he doesn't like the stuffed shirt that goes with all of that like pomp and circumstance. So instead of calling him a cipher mage, he just wants you to call him a crypto mage or a crypto bro. Either one of those is fine. So
Okay, well, it's been fantastic having this entirely legitimate up and up sales pitch underneath this lamppost where the dude hung himself. We're gonna go back to investigating that. It's been fun.
sure. I'm glad you guys are having fun. All that's in this adventure, by the way. I didn't make any of that up. That's canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canonical.
So, yeah.
Well, we just start walking the bridge till one of us gets an urge.
So you guys walk the bridge, and it seems as if everything's, more or less copacetic here. As like it becomes early afternoon, maybe you'll hear like some like eerie noises or like some poltergeist-esque like shutters moving or like a wagon rolling, and you turn and you won't see anything. But you don't see anything. Like nothing attacks you, nothing speaks to you in your mind. You don't see anyone like jumping off the bridge or doing anything suicidal. But based off of your reconnaissance here, in talking with the crypto bros, because they've been out here, hustling every day. One of them,
crypto bros, what's going on?
One of them actually, used to be a wizard's apprentice and had some sort of terrible malediction occurred when he was helping him cast a stone spin spell with the diamond dust, and he got it encrusted into his hands. Now he has diamond hands. And he'll tell you that most of these people, they'll like come in the next morning and they'll find the bodies. It's as if like it's people that are here at night that are dying, which is why they all leave beforehand. There's a tavern down by where Yuri actually used to work, called the Moonscape. So they all go to the moon afterwards with their diamond hands in the evening there. So. But it seems as if the attacks happen mostly at night, Garm. You doing okay, buddy?
Stake it out.
I guess.
Did I just miss a Doge reference?
Yeah, to the moon.
Bro, my brother has $4,200 in Dogecoin that he has from like 2013.
Dude, I know like this 23-year-old kid who lived here for like 6 months. We were all like splitting money for pizza after playing Magic. And he's like, oh, like just Venmo me $5, I'll pay for it, with his crypto wallet. He has like $85,000 of Dogecoin because he just like bought $100 of it as a joke back before it blew up. So he like he had like $130,000. He's like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm 23. So he didn't do anything with it. And now it's like $80,000 or $40,000 because like it's just gotten less and less valuable over time.
Oh, dude, my brother's is sad. So he started mining it when it first came out, when they like sponsored that bobsled team.
Mm-hmm.
So he was mining it like crazy. Then he lost like his wallet password.
Oh shit.
Then Elon Musk did the whole Doge thing where it skyrocketed, and he could not get into his account until after it had happened. Now that it's 4 cents a coin again.
Fuck.
But it was like $1 a coin. Yeah, he could have made so much. He was like $20,000 or something like that. He could have got.
Jeez.
There's also the guy in the UK who lost his Bitcoin wallet that had like $87 million worth of Bitcoin in it, and the city won't let him go to the landfill and look for it.
Oh no, I think there's even more to that story now.
Is there?
I think that he's like partnered with someone else who has a bunch of money and has like agreed to give them some percentage of it, and they purchased the landfill, and they're doing like a excavation grid or something to try and find it.
I hope the hard drive's so damaged it's not recoverable. That'd be so funny.
Yeah. So what a world! What a world!
What an investment! That's basically a modern day treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Except it's digging through garbage to find garbage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like geocaching without coordinates.
There's an idea for a pirate campaign. Modern day pirate campaign.
Anyway,
Steal someone's Bitcoin wallet.
steal someone's Bitcoin wallet. Yeah. We only have so much time to get through this highly cerebral plot.
So let's go to the chains around wrists.
Yeah, I mean, or it seems like you could wait until nightfall, and things would happen here.
Yeah, but it also seems like we're on a time crunch.
Sure. So you want to head over to the chains on the wrists. So in the castle district, again, it seems as if people have stabbing agonies or burning phantom pains, only to have them fade moments later. Some people also have these almost like scar tissue. They have the pain of having worn all these heavy shackles and things like that for some time, but obviously they weren't, but the evidence that they used to have them still lingers. The news has spread pretty quickly, and there's a section, there's a place where 3 or 4 streets intersect, like a crossroads, that it seems to be localized to. So all the shops that used to be in that area are just closed right now, and you don't have to ask for very long before someone will point you in the right direction and be like, yeah, this intersection here, we just have been avoiding it.
Well, seems like we know where we want to go.
Yeah.
In the intersection.
So they, for some reason, I just want you to know, I don't know why it's like this. With a DC 20 diplomacy check, the people who have experienced it will tell you what they experienced. But it's not until you succeed a DC 40 knowledge local check that you can pinpoint all of the locations to find where it is.
They'll tell you what happened to them, but they'll say, no, I don't want you knowing where it is.
Right. So, anyway, otherwise it takes additional days, which is why they want you to fail. So I'm not going to have you do that. You guys can certainly... This one's kind of fucked up enough on its own. You don't need to wait days. Yeah, you can find this place here. It seems as if there are 3 ruins that these Pain Foci are located. There is the old Opera House, the ruins of the Silver Star, and the northern entrance of a short alleyway known as Shadow's Jaunt. It seems as if you were to put all of those points onto a map, they lead to this intersection, known as Jarvis's End. It is an empty lot adjacent to a rundown performance hall once known as the Firefoot Theater. And yeah, I mean, you guys can walk over there. You don't see anything.
This place seems horrifying.
Do we at least feel the various things that other people have been feeling?
Sure. As you guys move into there, you feel similar sorts of manifestations. You feel like maybe your back will hurt, buddy, as you feel the familiar lash of a whip across your back, and you turn around ready to pounce, and there's nothing there. But Caerrat, you notice a faint streak of blood run down his back. As you go to tend to it, you can't move your arms as they're pulling against heavy iron chains that are bolted into the flagstones. And as you look down and kind of assess that, your hands are free. They kind of almost snap up towards your face. But your wrists burn as if they've been bound for some time. Things like that. There's obviously something wrong here. Mechanically, it's just weird and off-putting, and it seems to happen every few rounds to all of you that are here.
Mm.
What would you like to do? You kind of see the vacant lot up ahead, and there's this building next to it.
Sezzix, I don't like what's going on here.
Me either.
All right, now we're on the same page.
Are there any abandoned buildings nearby, or is it?
Yeah, there's this lot,
Strictly
and
just
right
the-
next to it is an abandoned building.
Oh, okay, we should go into the abandoned building.
Yeah, can I go look inside it?
Yeah, you come up to it. The building's iron walls are old and covered with an eerie crimson lichen and dark, mysterious stains. The roof sags, and you can see many holes along the outside, open to the elements, while leering diabolic gargoyles lurk amidst its eaves. The whole building has a look of a prison, but the scale seems off. Make an intelligence check as you look at this.
It's a building.
Semi-intelligent.
Something is wrong here.
Is it?
Let's
Buddy,
go.
I'll give you a bonus, a circumstance bonus on this, as you've made like little toys and stuff for people before, right? And you've done carvings.
Yeah.
It looks as if the outside of this building is, whatever they said it was, the Firefit Theater. But inside, like just inside the building, is like another building that's been built in about 1/5 scale. Like the doors are really small. The walls are really small, and it almost looks like a lattice in there, but you realize they're like little windows and stuff. There's like a miniature prison that's been built inside this building. And as you can see it through like one window, but as you go to like look at it through the open doorway, it's not there. It's like quasi in and out of reality.
Oh, that's weird.
But it looks like there's some sort of, structure inside this building.
Mm.
Everyone else can see it as well. You're the only one that makes the connection that it's like actually just a building that's at a 20% scale. 1/5 scale.
So we should probably burn this building down, right?
Why are we burning the building down, buddy?
Well, you burn the little house down too.
Sezzix, come here. Oh, tree seeing Sezzix.
Sezzix, you have true seeing. Perfect. I need to look up that spell.
Walls have eyes.
You guys are all up along this building looking in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
If it's not too late after he does that, I'm also going to stealth.
I need you to tell me... I don't think you get a save. So you cast True Seeing on Sezzix. Don't worry about that stealth check. So you're like, Sezzix, tell us what you see with your keen eyes. You cast the spell on him. His eyes go blue, as per the spell. He looks at this stuff, and they get wider and wider and wider, and it looks like he's about to scream, and Sezzix disappears. You could make I don't even know if you get a spellcraft check on that.
Gosh.
I, not understanding magic, will be furious with Caerrat for sending our rat friend away.
You see me holding his eyes open, dripping drops and incanting, and then he just he like goes, ah, shit, ah, and then goes.
Caerrat, what have you done?
I will take a will save from you for a bonus effect, as all this happens at once.
For me?
Yeah.
That's a good time to roll in that.
So you feel, Sezzix, you feel a spell effect wash over you that like draws you towards this building, and you're like, I don't want to be closer to this. This thing's horrific. And then what you see is this building become actual size and just kind of move over you. And now you're in the middle of this prison that's full size and you have no idea how to get out. And as this ethereal prison moves over you, you disappear from the material plane. You are no longer there.
I'll just silently.
But you did shrug off the spell effect that would make you walk towards it. Unfortunately, you were already adjacent to it. So it just consumed you. Yeah. I'm going to look at your character sheet. Very good.
Can I now attempt stealth? I don't want to be found here.
So
Think of how scared the rat is. Caerrat, think of how scared the
now
rat
give
is.
me a will save. Okay, now let me look up this effect. This is where we have jumped difficulties. So what happens in only you see this? You start trying to navigate your way out of this maze. Give me an intelligence check. So you start trying to navigate your way through this infernal prison. And you, see a glimmer of hope. You think maybe this is the way out. You start navigating, winding your way through here. And you open a door that you think is going to lead you out of here. And it doesn't. And you seem to be frozen for a moment. We'll come back to you. The rest of the party. So Sezzix just disappears. It seems as if he saw something horrific and then disappeared.
Well, and just kind of went.
So
Well,
invisible.
Don't
we have a lantern that can?
we do? Yeah, I can spark up the lantern.
Let me make sure that I'm doing this all correctly. Everything that happened there is correct, but...
Let's... are we going into the bad or moving away from it?
Can't leave our friend behind.
That's my thought, but
That's funny.
But he is a one-way street, and it's go in.
Yeah, you want to use your lantern?
Yeah, spark the lantern off, and then I think we're walking.
What does that do? Is that see invisibility?
Invisibility purge.
Nothing happens.
Well,
Can I hit the building?
Yeah, I mean, there are struts and stuff of this abandoned stage hall, and then within it is this quasi-real building that you can only kind of see from a couple of angles. So through the opening of one of the walls that's been demolished or whatever, you try to swing at this quasi-real building. It doesn't seem like your weapon can damage it. You just pass through it, and it's kind of like a mirage. It will disappear and then kind of reform. You can make a spellcraft check or a knowledge planes, probably knowledge planes check, Caerrat, as you see this interaction. You have no idea what the fuck is going on.
fuck it.
Dang.
I mean, I guess we could go inside, right? Maybe Tommy doesn't know what the fuck's going on, so going inside might be where Caerrat is. Or not Caerrat, Sezzix.
Well, this kind of looks awful. We can start throwing things at it. I can start casting spells on it, see what happens before we do that.
Oh, okay. So, I will have to retcon. I did just read this line here. So, it's almost as if, we'll just say it took a couple of rounds for it to happen. So you swing at it, you're give us back our friend! What's going on? You pass through it. It doesn't seem to have any effect, but Inside, we'll go back to Sezzix's point of view. You open this door, you seem to be frozen, and then the ground beneath you opens, and you fall down into a chamber. And you now seem to be inside a cell that there is no exit from. And you can see through the bars into a bunch of other empty cells. And above you, you see the whole layout of this prison like a maze. But as you have time now, you can kind of look at this maze, and you know that if you ever get free, you could probably navigate it a lot easier. But the world around you, outside of this maze above you, and the walls of your cell and all these other empty cells, is like a shadowy version of Kintargo. You see these shapes that are moving outside and swinging weapons, and maybe they're your allies, you don't know. And as you kind of make this connection that you are on another plane, the whole maze will restructure a bit and expand, and all of those shadows will start becoming more and more real. As that happens, the three of you that are standing outside the building see this small structure within there become real. It just kind of manifests as if the act of seeing it is enough to draw it from the ethereal plane into the material plane. And just like it did with Sezzix, it will expand over you. Everyone give me a will save as this first spell effect hits you as you see it. Tommy, instead of being horrified, the other two of you are horrified, as you should be. You see Tommy's expression, instead of being one of shock, he seems interested. And he's oh, and he walks into it willingly. The rest of you turn to run, but there is no way to escape it, as it consumes all of you. The three of you are affected by the maze spell, of which there is no save. You are now stuck inside this infernal prison in a maze. You do not see each other anymore. You just see these endless corridors stretching out in all directions. You could cast plane shift on yourself to escape. Otherwise, you will need to make an intelligence check every round to try and find your way out of the maze. So why don't the three of you give me an intelligence check, unless Caerrat has plane shift and would like to plane shift himself out.
I have one.
Yes, you are not with your allies.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing of, I feel like this is not the only time we're going to be sent to a bad place. I'll start making intelligence checks till...
So the three of you give me an intelligence check as you start trying to navigate this maze. Sezzix, back to you. You see those three shadows are your allies. They all get sucked in here, and you see them as little different spots on the maze. If only you could speak with them, you could show them how to get out. But you can't, because you're frozen in time. And you have been ever since you opened that door. The three of you start navigating the maze. The three of you navigate the maze unsuccessfully and try various doors. All of you make a will save.
Including me?
Nope, you're already fucked.
Oh my god, this place is so fucked up.
Tommy, you open a door and are frozen in time. The floor below you opens. Sezzix, you see your companion fall into an open cell next to you. 7 of them remain. So, Caerrat and Buddy, the doors you open don't lead out. You can continue making intelligence checks to try to escape the maze.
So fun.
Every time you fail,
Correct.
you have to make a will save
Correct.
or fall to stasis.
Correct. Furthermore, if things aren't as bad as they are, now that you're on the material plane, you see some number of commoners have been affected by that first aura and have started walking towards the maze. Started walking towards the edge of the prison. Those two of you that are in stasis can see them off in the distance, like a big crowd of them coming. So, the two of you that are still in the maze, what would you like to do?
The smart thing. I'm gonna make an intelligence check.
Unsuccessful.
I guess this is the
Make
bad
a will
enough to
save.
plane shift out situation.
Was an 18 unsuccessful?
An 18 is unsuccessful.
Oh shit! I don't think I can succeed. I think even if I had a nat 20.
Sorry, not that.
My will save is decent though.
Again, a dead end. You plane shift yourself out.
I immediately get 15 feet from the building. Maybe.
I think you go D100 miles from your destination.
Oh, fuck.
But you have word of recall, so you're fine. So Caerrat's just like, I'm sorry, Tommy! You see Caerrat cast some spell, and he disappears. Caerrat, while you were there, though, make a planes check.
Sure.
Oh, I guess you are on the material plane now. Sezzix, you've been in hell before. Before this place fully materialized, you think it was like a bridge between the material plane and hell. Like, you had the sense that this thing is definitely of hell. But now you're, like, in the material plane. But it still kind of smells of brimstone. Caerrat, you are somewhere safe. Buddy, another round here.
Yeah. What's the DC intelligence check?
It is a DC 20 intelligence check.
Oh, so I can. I just need a 17 or better.
Yep, this is how a maze spell always works.
Or an 18 or better.
Yep,
Always a
and
DC.
none of us are intelligence.
I mean, yeah. It's always a
we'll get there
DC
eventually.
20 intelligence check.
We'll get there eventually.
Of course.
Close.
Give me a will save. You open a door, unfortunately, and there's a flash of light, and you are frozen in time. And the two of you that are already in cells see your companion drop into a cell next to you.
Wait, hold on. I think I can re-roll it with my improved Iron Will.
Would you like to re-roll it? Probably a good call.
Oh, I have to decide before the results are revealed, so...
I mean, you rolled a 5 on the die. You'd probably re-roll that.
Yeah, I can do better.
Yeah, you resist it. Caerrat, what would you like to do on your turn? You are in a forest somewhere. Or on the countryside.
Oh, look over. There's a cow mooing. I really think Tommy was right. Should have just gone off somewhere.
You should have taken that honeymoon now.
Should have just gone somewhere. This is terrible.
I hear the suicide bridge is nice this time of year.
I am thinking about just going to the suicide bridge. I think I marked off a word to recall. Did I? Yeah, I did.
Okay. That takes you back to your safe house, right?
Yeah, safe house, and then...
Okay. So you arrive in the safe house and quickly bring everyone up to speed. Buddy, another intelligence check. You could choose to not wander the maze if you didn't want to, for what it's worth. You could just stay there and not be frozen in time. But
I think
just be stuck in the maze.
I think it's funnier to solve the maze.
All right, yeah. Give me a will save. Yeah. Now that you've been in here a while, I'll get to that will save here. Yeah, you're fine. You hear a voice behind you. Not that door. You turn around and it's Barzillai. You tear at him with a claw or whatever, and your claw passes through him, and he disappears. And you hear the voice behind you, and he's like, please. And you tear at him again, and he disappears, and now he's 100 feet away. Maybe it's this way. You see that he has in his hand a reel of keys, which presumably unlock all of the doors. And he's also dragging several shackles behind him. And he'll just walk off down a corridor.
Wow.
Caerrat, you guys have your hideout in... It's the old Kintargo district, right?
I think so. It's the Lucky Bones.
I don't know how long it would take you to get to the castle district.
I just airwalk myself. And...
Okay. So you run over there. That's fine. Buddy, I'm going to give you...
Probably 10, 15 minutes at least.
Give me 2 more checks. If you save 2 more checks, you'll be good. So 2 more intelligence, 2 more, well, an intelligence, then a will, then an intelligence, then a will.
All right.
Again, just can't find your way out, and then give me a will save. Again, you seem to be fine. Barzillai continues to torment you. You can't seem to find the way out.
Uh-oh.
But now you see, on this last round, you see other people wandering the maze with you. They seem to be like commoners. They don't know what they're doing. Mechanically, those of you that were trapped saw them get closer and closer as they're mind-controlled to walk within 5 feet of it. They're then sucked inside it, start wandering around it, and then start opening doors and begin filling up the cells next to you. You can count. There's only 9 cells. You're in 2 of them. It's like commoner, 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 commoner. And then at the last second before it's full, Buddy drops into a cell next to you.
Oh, no.
With all 9 cells full, the prison will kind of shudder. It expels all of the people that are still wandering, and it disappears. Those of you that are in your prison cells notice the terrain around you change. You are certainly in hell now.
Can I shoot one of the commoners and see if we go back?
You are still frozen. You are still affected by stasis.
Oh
You're just watching this happen. Caerrat, you're running across air. There's like all of your people are coming, racing here, and you arrive just in time to see like hundreds of commoners walking towards this thing, enthralled by it. Getting close to it, they touch it, they disappear, and then you see a bunch of them get shunted out of it. It shudders and disappears. You can easily identify a plane shift spell.
And I do quick math. Buddy's not out here.
No. When a
Tommy's
victim
not out
succumbs to
there.
this, from his viewpoint, he's voluntarily stepped into a windowless cell with walls lined with rusty spikes, only to have the door close and vanish behind him. Once the hell prison manages to capture 9 victims in this manner, all of them are instantly transported to one of the numerous prisons in hell, no save, to be forever imprisoned within. When this occurs, the hell prison fades away.
Well,
So while Caerrat is figuring out what to do next, we'll switch over to the 3 of you that have found yourselves in quite a predicament. So again, 4 CR12 dogs, or this haunt. Pretty equivalent, I'd say. Is this dumb, Garm?
there is the everyone individually getting hit by a maze, followed by if you fail the maze check, you have to make a will save or you fail forever.
Dude, there's a left.
Followed by you
It's so
can't get
dumb.
out.
There's a 120-foot aura that charms you to walk towards it. Then if you're adjacent to it, you're instantly sucked in, no save. Then every round you fail, it's a will save or you're done. And
And
then it transports you to hell.
And the play was to just sit on your hands and wait for everyone else to get captured.
just sacrifice 9 random civilians. That's the best outcome.
Yep.
Like, we literally should have just sat still.
What do you know?
God damn it, Tommy! You should know that the rescue always needs to come to you first.
Yeah.
Okay, just text me when you're done.
Okay. The 3 of you find yourselves in these prisons. The stasis effect will end. You're in these prison cells. You're clearly in hell. The people around you, like the commoners, are freaking out, like losing their shit, like sobbing. They're so confused. Outside, you see like infernal legions going by. The jailers will be like some lower level creatures. They'll open the cells to like the commoners' cages and start taking them out and like branding them and putting shackles around their necks. Let's say I'm gonna roll a D3 here. Sezzix. They'll open the door to your cell and they'll be like, you know, I don't know. There'll be like some dretch and it'll be like, come on, it's your turn. And he's like got a shackle in his hand. Don't make it hard on me, Mr. Rat. What do you want to do?
I'll just kill him.
Yeah, you take out your gun and you blast him. He explodes. You, like, start shooting off into, like, the crowd or whatever. And at this point, you know, some of the devils will start running off. A bunch of other devils will start, like, teleporting in. And there will be a massive devil that will appear before you. He seems to have impressive wings. And he wields a... He wields a ranseur that seems to be dripping with inky black flames. He looks like this. It seems as if we've gotten more than we bargained for with you. And it looks like he's going to raise up his weapon to do battle with you. And this guy looks pretty terrifying. You think that maybe if all of you were together, you might have a shot. But one-on-one, this is not going to go the way that you want it to. And as his weapon is coming down at you, he, like, freezes. As you can tell he's gotten some sort of telepathic command. As he, like, is about to strike you. He's like, how fortunate for you. And he'll, like, go back to being more regal. The master wishes to see you. And he'll walk over to the other two cells of your companions, and he'll unlock their cells. What would the three of you like to do?
I'll give them a thumbs up and say, guys, I did it.
Got us out.
We call it shotgun diplomacy.
I'll call him a bitch in Infernal as he opens the cage.
Quite. He'll wave a hand, and the three of you and him will all disappear. You will reappear somewhere else in hell. Now you see these white towers of bone. Endless white towers of bone in all directions. You seem to be on some sort of flat promontory point. And behind him is this giant tower that stretches up into the sky. And he says, do you know where you are?
Oh.
This is Caina, the 8th layer of hell. My master Mephistopheles bids you welcome to his home. Normally, those of your kind would not survive the day. However, he has seen fit to grant you passage here. He'll kind of squint his eyes. Though I was told to expect 4 of you. Where is the other? The angel.
4? I don't know what you're talking about. Angel? There's no angel with us.
Clearly. Where is the one? And he'll, like, produce that scroll, and he'll kind of thumb through the arcane writings. Where is the one called Caerrat?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Pull out a hand puppet. I'm Caerrat.
Also, seems as if you don't have everything you need. He'll, like, roll the scroll back up and make it disappear. Very good, master, if you will it. And he'll extend a hand in your direction. You don't belong here. Yet. He'll cast a spell on all of you. You can make a will save if you would like.
They can't get much worse, so I'll just go with this for now.
Sure.
Yeah.
27.
27? Okay. I'm going to pull up bestiary.
Like, I don't negotiate with terrorists. I won't give them any information. They have to torture it out of me.
That's fine.
That's why I'm resisting.
I don't wanna.
You resist. The other 2 of you disappear. You find yourselves back in Kintargo, in that same alleyway. There's a bunch of, like, townsfolk that are like crying because their loved ones have disappeared. And you see some of the Ardent Crows are there, along with Caerrat, who's like, he's probably got Rexus and he's shaking him like, where did they go? Where did they go? I don't know. I wasn't here. And you guys can...
I don't know how hell works. That place is terrible.
Yeah. So this devil will turn to you and be like, there's always one, isn't there? Well, do you wish to stay then? We have accommodations that may be to your liking. He'll wave a hand and the doors behind him will open to the endless Tower of Bone.
I'd rather go home. What would you do to them?
Sent them home. The decision is yours.
Stay a night.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Sezzix.
I thought Buddy would have stayed the night, if anyone. He makes friends with devils.
Yeah. As you go in, you see some very interesting creatures. They're like, more prisoners. Another prisoner. Excellent. Your cell is right this way. They seem to be like the top half of some sort of devil fused into a giant metal spider. Would you like to go willingly, or do you want to fight these creatures?
When I see the horrific creatures, I'll say, can I change my mind?
The guy is gone.
Uh-oh.
You said you wanted to stay the night, and he said very well, and he'll just disappear.
How scary do they look?
I don't know. They seem to be moving towards you with hostile intent. There are two of them. You are in a hall where the walls seem to be made of countless fused bones, stretching up over 100 feet tall into a vaulted ceiling in this cathedral-like space. A dais at one end rises up to a stage-like area whose walls are fitted with 3 flame-filled archways. A fourth burning archway sits in the wall opposite. Torture implements, ranging from iron matings to stretching racks, to chairs festooned with spikes, lie strewn haphazardly across the hall, while the walls contain 5 layers of 10-foot square alcoves separated from the room by lengths of barbed iron bars, forming twin banks of cells, from which there seemed to be no method of entry or exit. The entire room seems to be difficult terrain. You can make a knowledge planes check to identify these creatures. They seem pretty serious. I will get you a picture of them. They are size large. They look like this.
That's cool.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah, they start like clattering towards you. Maybe one's on the wall and the other's on the ground, and they're like...
I'm already making bad decisions. I'm sure I'll attack them.
Yeah, let's get some initiative here.
Sezzix is ready for a new
Honestly,
character.
only one person dying, not that bad. Was it avoidable? Yes, but one person dying, not that bad. Can't really fix them, but
100% avoidable.
You could have just said yes.
I did say yes to stay the night.
All right, so let's roll on initiatives. You go before them.
That's a good sign.
Their AC is 12.
I'll
What a
tap the
life-size
movement
construct.
speed.
Just start unloading into one of these.
Yeah.
Go. Also, if I didn't do a good job describing it beforehand, you were standing on like a little causeway that was like a bridge between these towers of bone that seem to go up forever and down forever. To either side of this bridge, which is maybe only 30 feet across, it looked like you would fall forever into red mist. You can't see the bottom, and looking up, you can't see the top. This guy was standing, the pit devil was standing, like preventing you from getting into the tower. And then when you said you wanted to spend the night, he said very well, and he teleported away. and you've like wandered into the tower, and that's where you see these creatures in the first room. If that makes sense.
I also assume they're evil, and I forgot to add holy damage.
Yeah, so they are evil. So 34 and 30, that's like 65, 90, plus another
181 total.
181. One of them looks super badly hurt. They're both still alive. Giving you the benefit of the doubt, you shot them the first second you got. They won't be in full attack range yet. They will, however, throw their tridents at you. As they throw their trident, it teleports back into their hand. So they will close with you while throwing their trident. Each one will make their attacks. For some reason, I don't know why it has the stat block like this. Does returning come back at the end of turn?
End of turn.
Okay. In that case, they'll both close with you and make one attack. They'll both just try to grapple you. You have freedom of movement. The first one will fail at grappling you. The second one will attempt to disarm your weapon and take it from you. Settle down now. It doesn't need to go this way. Where's their character sheet? Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. It gets a 37 to grapple you, or to take your weapon away.
My CMD is 36.
It snatches your gun out of your hand. It is your turn. These things are flanking you.
Is there a spot I can 5-foot step to only be in range of one of them?
No, because they have reach.
Yeah.
If they didn't have reach, probably. But because they are large size and have 10-foot reach, there will not be such a spot.
I'll free action, take out my other gun, and then
Like,
unload on the same guy.
Very good. They do have combat reflexes. So every time you attack them, they're going to attack you.
Oh, I already know I'm not winning this encounter.
A 38 and a 39 to hit you.
31 AC.
Okay. 2 whacks on you. You blast another one for like 40, so that puts you up to 220. So one more hit on that one that's already hurt will kill it. Is that a good aligned weapon this time?
No, it's just a normal one.
Okay. And a 35 you said hits?
Yeah.
So you managed to drop one, but then the other will knock you out, as you do have some subdual damage still. But yeah, you do manage to kill that one, and its body just lies there. And then the other one will, like, jab you, and you, like, pivot around to try and shoot it, and it flips its rancer or its halberd around to the other, its trident around to the other side, and it'll just clonk you over the head and knock you out.
Ah!
Yeah.
Honey,
The world goes black. Back to the three of you.
The devil's what, you say?
Did we get that devil's name that like sent us home? Or were we just rude and never asked him his name?
Never asked him his name.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't remember.
Yep. But yes, what would the three of you like to do?
Take some ibuprofen for this headache that Sezzix just gave me. Shit.
I'm gonna profess that Caerrat and I need to take a honeymoon to the countryside. Just a quiet, quaint week. I used to see hell all the time, and then it went away when he cured me. That he didn't know I was experiencing, and this just reflared my PTSD. I am not having a good time. I think I'm ready to be done adventuring after this.
Yeah. Rexus keeps a clearer head, and he's like, well, so you were in hell. Tell me everything that happened.
Well, there was this devil guy. I called him a bitch. I remember that. And then he said, very well, and then he like touched me, and then I just kind of came back. I was just kind of going with the flow.
Why would he send you back from hell? That doesn't make any sense.
Something about he'll see us later? I think he wants to take us to dinner. A lot of people take us to dinner before they kill us.
It takes some time, but eventually you are able to tell Rexus what actually happened.
Okay.
And the key points being, you were in Caina, and Mephistopheles is the one who is certainly in charge there, and he said that it wasn't time for you to be here yet. Like, he was expecting you, but not yet. And that you didn't have what you needed, whatever that meant. So he sent you back to the material plane to go get it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we were also invited to a dinner and we didn't bring everything we needed, so I figured this time we should bring a gift like adults, like a glass of wine or a bottle of wine.
You tell Rexus all of this, and he starts like poring over the records, trying to make sense of what it means. And as you bring up Mephistopheles, he switches over to looking at the contract, the copy of the contract that Barzillai had with Mephistopheles, the one that was penned by that contract devil that you guys spoke to when you went to hell the very first time. And you find some points of note as you start crystallizing all this information. So you learn that Barzillai sought a method to preserve his memories and his mind after death. He did it using something known as a soul anchor. Still not quite sure what those are. Give me a knowledge religion check from Rexus and you, Caerrat. As you pore over these tomes and, go through the contracts and all the readings and all the notes. And I know Rexus has all the skills too. So you start trying to figure out what a soul anchor is. Rexus is like, here, I found mention of it. It seems that Mathala, which is another god, known as the Dowager of Illusions, sought a method for her most esteemed followers to avoid judgment in Pharasma's boneyard. So, just as a basic understanding of how, the afterlife works, Rexus will give you guys, the kindergarten PowerPoint presentation. So when you die, your soul, as we understand it, passes to the boneyard. This is Pharasma's realm. It is neither good nor evil, lawful or chaotic. It is truly neutral. And they judge your soul based on how you lived your life and decisions you made. And then that soul goes to whatever afterlife is the most appropriate. There's not just heaven and hell. There's chaotic good heaven, known as Elysium. There's chaotic evil hell, which is the abyss. There's all these different realms that your soul goes to. And then what it does there. That's beyond the scope of this. Mathala, though, due to some history she had with Pharasma, wanted to come up with a way for her followers to skip judgment. Because when you go to the boneyard, your soul is stripped of all its memories and all its knowledge, and it's just this quintessence, just this essence of what you were that passes on to those realms. But if you had a particularly good follower, you would want them to maintain loyal and devout and stuff like that. So you could just pluck their consciousness and trap it into this soul anchor. So if someone is attuned to the soul anchor when they die, instead of going to the boneyard, they just go into this soul anchor, and then they go wherever they want. So Mathala would use this with her followers. And she put these soul anchors in all sorts of inscrutable places across the inner sea. And would leave her followers clues and secrets, and only if you could follow all this stuff and go on a spiritual quest could you find the soul anchor. And then it was your job to protect it and pass on the knowledge to other followers so that the cult could grow. It seems as if Barzillai found one of those in Kintargo. He used the soul anchor to preserve himself after his death. And in a contract with Mephistopheles, was going to use his knowledge and all his power that he'd gained in life, along with whatever deal he made with Mephistopheles, to bring himself back to life is something known as a genus loci. So a loci is like a spirit of a place. And based off of what's been happening in town, it seems as if Barzillai's ultimate plan, which you guys thwarted, was to kind of control Kintargo for his whole life, really solidify authority and power, die at a ripe old age, and then come back as the spirit of Kintargo and effectively rule it from beyond the grave for all time. You killed him. Put a stop to that. But
so it kind of happened really early.
But because of his dealings with Mephistopheles and with the Soul Anchor, he retained all of his knowledge of those rituals, and he's been trying to like backfill the code. He's trying to like hack into the mainframe or whatever from the afterlife and complete the ritual, even though he's not at full strength. As more time passes, the more likely it is that he's going to be able to succeed at that and come back to life and basically enchant the whole city as one giant haunt, with him as its puppeteer. But right now, he's only able to influence it a little bit here and there. And as you describe where you were, Caina being Mephistopheles' realm, and these bone white towers, you believe that Barzillai is probably in that tower. And he needs to be destroyed once and for all. But according to the contract, he can only be destroyed when his heart is returned to his body. So you need to...
So we need his heart to go...
You need to find his heart, which is presumably still at the Soul Anchor, because it's where he did the ritual, the heart harvest ritual that you found out about. So you need to go to the Soul Anchor, wherever that is hidden throughout the city, find his heart, travel to hell, put the heart into whatever horrific creature he's turned into, and then kill him. And he will be defeated once and for all. And Kintargo will finally be free.
Sounds hard, but I think we got it.
Yes. Now, if only you knew where the Soul Anchor was. But
that seems like the next problem.
It seems like every time you deal with one of these problems that's plaguing the city, now that you have this knowledge, you might be able to crystallize where that cry is coming from, where Barzillai's otherworldly scream is emanating, and you may be able to find the location of the Soul Anchor. So the more problems you solve in town, the more haunts you quell, the more monsters you slay, the more you make the city safe, the more Barzillai will scream in pain, and the more times that happens, the better you can pinpoint where it's coming from.
Does this entire house within a house situation count as completing one of these haunts?
Nope.
No, it felt like we lost it.
It seems to have disappeared and will reform tomorrow.
Nice.
I guess that's a way to get back into hell and save Sezzix.
We should put up signs to not go near that house.
Well, it'll kind of call people in.
But yes, would you guys like to continue your adventuring day, or would you like to take a long rest?
I feel like we would be able to realize that Sezzix is probably fine in 24 hours.
Realistically, you three still have a ton of fighting strength left. I don't see why you wouldn't try to do something else.
Yeah, you're like, and what about Sezzix? And Rexus is like, I don't know why the Fiend would keep him but send the two of you back. And you'll be like, he said I'm going to send all of you home, and I don't know why Sezzix isn't here. And he's like, maybe he resisted the spell.
As far as you know, I'm just staying a night like I did with the Queen of Delights.
This is a little different.
I guess I've spent a 24-hour period in hell as well.
Yeah, I think your visit's a little different than his is going to be.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
Sezzix wanted that kind of visit. I don't know if he's getting it.
I'd love to be wined and dined in hell.
It's pretty nice, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so we can risk dying a second time, waiting for nighttime to go to the suicide bridge, or we can go to sleep.
You go to the suicide bridge?
This is the best idea I got, too.
Dude, yeah, like,
Yeah.
the difficulty curve of this part of the adventure is ridiculous.
It's not even something tangible to fight against, that's the thing, you know?
It doesn't even say that I should have them transported out of there and sent back to the material plane. It's just like, no, they are in a different part of hell in prison.
Yep, they're there.
At your discretion, you can have them be at the place Sezzix is in prison. That's what it says, at your discretion. So just be Garm, and the three of you are in cells you can't escape from in stasis. In prison, being tortured every day.
Wild.
I think it sounds fun.
What a great end to the adventure, Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I opted not to do that. Anywho.
But sometimes if you're just begging for it, you gotta give it, you know?
Sezzix was begging for it. Gave him every opportunity. He made his choice. He made his bet, as it were. You head to the suicide bridge. You hear some moaning. You see some funny lights. You go to investigate. Every so often, you see a small ghostly head kind of like waft between buildings in the distance, and you'll like run over and investigate, and then you'll see it like somewhere else maybe, or maybe you'll see like two of them. But it does take a little bit of time for one of them to finally manifest next to you. I'm gonna roll a d3. Buddy!
Oh, yeah.
This ghostly head just kind of floats over to you. And it whispers into your ear. Make a will save.
Oh, it's a good thing I've done a lot of those today. 22.
It'll be like, it's easier this way. And you feel your hands close around a butcher's knife that's in your hand. And you take the knife and you stab it into your throat.
Oh, wow.
You, however, don't die instantly. You only take 6 points of damage.
Wow, that's a really dull knife. Really dull knife.
You just got a chonker of a neck, man. You could just take a whole knife in your neck.
Only
Nice
200
neck.
more hit points to go.
You'll rush over. Garm, you see this thing floating around, and it looks like it's going to be there maybe for the rest of this round, and then it's going to disappear. You identify it as a haunt.
Well, okay, so team, if you don't know, haunts are basically ghost traps. There's some special condition we have to meet to break the trap. It's gonna be a bitch to find out.
You also know that you can disperse it
channel
for
positive
now
energy,
by
but-
channeling positive energy.
Yeah, I'll just do it
Yeah.
like 4 times.
You have 1 round before the head
Oh,
disappears.
sure. Poof.
You do enough damage that this single floating head winks out of existence, as there's a burst of positive energy keeping it at bay. You see more floating heads, like in the distance, wandering around.
Well, team, I know my job. I'll look at Buddy, who's now stopped stabbing himself in the jugular.
He just did it the one time, and then the knife disappeared. You can make a knowledge religion check, though, as you witness this, and you got up close enough to see the head. You recognize the head as the head of someone who's killed himself off this bridge. You don't quite know what to do yet. But maybe after you encounter another head, you'll learn.
Yeah, let's go yell out ahead.
Sure,
Go
you
talk to
guys
another head.
try to track down another head. Oops, let me roll one of these dice. Buddy, another head flies over to you and whispers in your ear. Make a will save.
Yeah.
I guess, Garm, you could roll initiative if you wanted to first to see if you go before a 10. He might disperse it before it whispers in your ear. Nope. Again, it's like, you should. And you see there's a rope tied around your neck. But you shrug it off. You don't want to kill yourself. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid.
You can blast it with some positive energy.
That's enough of that.
That's enough to disperse it. Make a knowledge religion check. As you see yet another severed head that seems to be another person who's committed suicide. You really don't know what's going on here.
Folks are dying. It's crazy.
You linger for a bit longer. This time, Caerrat, one approaches you. Roll initiative.
Hey, who are you?
Oh, you get to act before it. This seems to be the head of that boy that hung himself.
Oh,
and he's coming over to you. Do you want to channel positive energy? You disperse it before it gets to you. After this third time, you're like, maybe it has something to do with actually laying the bodies of those deceased people to rest.
Yeah, did they just throw them back in the river, or what did they do with all the people that died?
I mean, they like buried them and stuff. Or like, they're in coffins maybe at the funerary home, ready to get laid to rest after services.
So they're at least being tended to.
Yeah, if only there was some sort of magic that could really send that home.
Yeah, what if we just went over there and I don't know.
You think that
I have a consecrate spell.
You think that maybe if you brought those remains back to here at the scene of their death and cast a consecrate spell, it would probably suppress these lesser haunts.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Let's go grave rob.
Let's just go grave rob of it.
He died yesterday, so he's at the funerary home. So you go there, break a window, let yourselves in, grab his body. It's still like in a funerary shroud. Hump it back over to the bridge, to the little area where he was being laid to rest. And you're going to set him down, and then you're going to cast Hollow, or consecrate.
I got a consecrate spell.
Cool. All those little, the whole bridge seems to glow with like this green light as all the little heads start screaming and disappearing. And the ones that don't start coalescing around you. And they form a giant head. I was hoping that it would have this image here. Maybe if I go to story, it will have it. Library, scroll down, go to here, go to story, boop, go down to chapter 2, Whispers on the Silver Span. There's a sweet image here. Yeah. So all those little heads that are floating around disperse. And you see this giant head form, and it is the face of Barzillai. And as it does, a vortex of whispering, decapitated heads begin whirling and churning all around. We will roll initiative, and we'll take it from there. Just gonna delete Sezzix from there. Did not roll. Roll initiatives. Okay. Buddy, you are up first. This thing is in the middle of the silver span. It's in the middle of the bridge, as is depicted there. I imagine the three of you are all together. Yes?
Yeah.
Seems reasonable. Before, is it too late to say I'll death ward the team before we cast Consecrate?
You can certainly do that if you'd like. It'll have no impact on this fight.
Fantastic. I'll waste 3 charges.
Make a will save as this churning, swirling, screaming head starts yelling at you.
If I fail, cap of the rethinker.
It's just Buddy.
Oh, okay.
18.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming we didn't do a long rest since.
Negative.
Yeah.
If you'd done a long rest, a day would have passed and Sezzix would come back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, roll me a d4.
A D4. Bloop.
Your companion seems confused, and on his turn, turns his aggression at the closest person and attacks them savagely.
Oh, that's not good.
Evens that person is Caerrat, odds it is Tommy. Evens that person is Caerrat. Go ahead and make full attacks against Caerrat. As you start tearing into him with your claws. Rage and all.
I'm flat-footed too, damn.
Fuck. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're not flat-footed. You guys knew there was a haunt coming. It would be a regular AC. I've already bent you over a barrel today. We don't need to continue. And then Caerrat, you're up next.
So
Yeah, those
32 is those are all hit. Oh, fun.
I think you're still standing. You're probably really hurt though.
I know, feeling great.
You only have plus 20 to damage? That seems awful low. That was like plus 30.
That's with my holy weapon.
Oh, that's right. Haha!
Yeah.
You're fine.
So I'll take 59
Regular.
damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick rules question.
Yeah.
When he becomes forced to attack Garm, would he be able to drop rage so his claws just go away?
No, because he's confused, so you attack it like at your hardest. That is an enemy to him. So whatever like your normal attack retinue is, like if someone's like a dirty trick fighter, I wouldn't have them like use all their different dirty tricks, but like make a good effort. Like if you're a spellcaster and you're confused to attack the person next to you, like you cast lightning bolt and stuff, like that's
You're probably not casting your biggest spell, but you're making a conscious effort.
Yeah, you make a conscious effort. That's what the highest roll on confusion is. The next highest roll is you just hit yourself like in anger. The next highest roll is you just babble, and then the lowest roll is you can act normally.
So
yeah.
me rolling the 4 was bad.
Very
Yes, it's the worst possible outcome.
Do you
Caerrat,
remember the hags fight? I just attacked myself the whole fight because I was confused.
yep. Caerrat,
I got blown away.
you are up. Again, at the start of your turn, it seems as if your companions become confused. Make a will save to see if the same thing doesn't happen to you.
I'm pretty sure this campaign turns Sezzix
You're
into
good.
a masochist.
Oh.
You are not confused.
Do I think that head's a haunt forming?
It sure is. It is already formed.
Well.
I forgot. You gotta add 9 damage because I didn't have my rage strength changed.
Racist.
I got you. Yeah, it's like you're like battling your friend. You gonna quick channel it?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
We'll shoot that fucker for 60 damage.
It is still there.
That is like exactly average. Holy shit. Oh, actually under average. Damn.
Anything with your move action or swift action, whatever you have left?
5 foot step into
Yeah.
swift action. Let me see if I can fix you.
Yeah, I don't think you know what the effect on him is. He's obviously confused.
Yeah,
But there was no spell cast. It's like some sort of effect of just this haunt.
Average is 63, so you were just below.
And then, Tommy, you will be up next. All of you get to go before this haunt.
I am automatically aware of any creature within 10 feet that's under a charm, compulsion, or possession effect. Is this one of these?
It is a compulsion. It is insanity.
Fantastic. 3 times per day as a swift action, you can inspire such a creature to shrug off the influence, granting a new saving throw to immediately end the effect, even if it
Give me
doesn't
a new
normally allow.
save.
And
Yeah.
if I touch you, as like you're like trying to rip my arm out of my socket, I'm like grabbing onto you, slapping you, saying, "Please stop! Please stop!" You get bonus equal to my charisma on this, so you get plus 6 on your
So
save.
not a 1.
Excellent. So anything will do.
I'm sorry. Bonus is doubled if I include a physical touch, plus 12.
Boom. You
So,
resist.
nice.
You
Excellent.
are no longer insane. Tommy, on the other hand,
I'm gonna cap the free thinker here.
good call. You are also not insane. What do you want to do on your turn? Based off your experience with these other floating heads, you know that your weapons do nothing to them. As it is a haunt. Only channeled positive energy can fell this beast.
Yeah,
Which is
I
also
guess.
super dumb. I think it should just be any positive energy. Which is usually how I house rule it.
Save. I usually just say slap it with a wand.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just combat expertise and fight defensively and raise my AC to like 45.
Sure.
Just stand there.
You're just like, you won't be taking me! Alright, it will go. On its turn, it seems to kind of shudder a little bit and then scream. And as it does, I need to have all of you make a save.
All right, buddy. I'm not being of will saves here today.
They certainly are will saves.
Every time. Fuck.
This is a fear mind affecting. Holla holla. Give me a fortitude save.
Oh.
Tommy?
Yeah, something I'm good at. Fuck.
Another fortitude save, Tommy.
This seems to be a weird spell, which is the equivalent of casting Phantasmal Cover on everyone.
No.
On Tommy's turn, he kind of like gets really defensive. This thing screams. The two of you holding on to it, clutching onto one another for safety. Tommy's like, why didn't you pick me? You never pick me! And he like takes his scythe, puts it in front of his face, and drives his head through it.
Oh my gosh.
You are dead.
Fucking gruesome.
This is the third time I've died to weird this campaign.
Buddy, top of the round. Make a will save against insanity.
It's not. Oh my god! You have to make it every turn.
Each creature within the area of this haunt is targeted by an insanity spell at the start of its turn. But more importantly, the Whirling Vortex casts Weird, targeting the densest collection of creatures within 260 feet.
Jesus.
You are fine. Caerrat, give me a will save against insanity.
This is so fucking gross.
Or you could fight 4 dogs. These are equivalent. These are equivalent things.
Or the house that puts everyone in a maze that stasises you.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what's up with the difficulty curve in this part of the book.
I thought it'd at least be fights that were just like overstated or something, but like, holy shit.
It's things you can't get out of.
All right. You channel positive energy a single time, and it is enough to bring it down.
Nice.
As you do, again, the air peels. The two of you that are alive and on this plane of existence, give me wisdom checks. DC 35.
I can do it.
Not quite gonna get there.
I can do it.
Not quite gonna get there.
Damn, close though.
You now that you know you're looking for the soul anchor. Not quite enough. Let me make sure that is true. I'm doing that right. You get a cumulative +5 bonus. Yep. Not enough. But with that, it seems as if the bridge, the silver span, is safe. You look over, and whereas Tommy saw himself putting the scythe through his face, you of course know that he just had a heart attack and died. He's just there on the ground. Dead.
We should probably heal him.
I spent all of my money on salt block and non-fungible tokens.
I
don't have any money either.
I have a bunch of money. How much do you need?
on salt blocks and non-fungible tokens. Do you guys want to keep exploring? It seems like there's a ghostly whale that comes out of the Greens district only at night.
I'm sure that isn't just chain casting Banshee's well every fucking turn, is it, Walter?
I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet.
I'm sure that's not. It's just 20d8 to everyone. No, that's definitely not it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I imagine you have some sort of raise dead spell.
Yeah, we'll raise them.
Okay. As bad as that was for you, Sezzix, in graphic detail, I would have to describe all the things that happened to you. Suffice it to say, it is some sort of amalgamation of like a hardcore porno snuff film with gratuitous breath of lifes and unwanted lobotomies and like limb removal. And by the time they're done, you wish that you had just died the first time they killed you and they hadn't kept bringing you back. Even though you're only there for a day, it seems as if you're there for an eternity. And with whatever strength remains, and whatever consciousness you have, at the end you catch a faint glimmer of that devil from earlier talking to you. He's like, well, I hope you've enjoyed your stay. He'll touch you again. Do you wish to resist this spell effect?
As tempted as I am to say yes, I will not.
Yeah.
Risa, can I have some more?
Sounds good. Sezzix mechanically will also just have 2 negative levels, as will Tommy. Representative of whatever horrific tortures and effectively being killed and brought back to life that would have certainly happened at the hands of these horrific devils. So like the next morning will come, you know, Tommy is like, he's like a little worse for wear, but he's back. And like the doors to the hideout or wherever you guys staying will open, and Sezzix will come in. His like fucking wrist is broken. He's like dragging his leg. It looks like he's just been like beaten and left for dead. He's certainly at 1 hit point. He's got those negative levels. And on a 3, they'll have kept your nice gun. A 2. You got it. You're dragging it by the fucking like by the barrel or whatever. You're like dragging it on the ground with whatever strength you have left. Yeah.
I'll just let them keep the shitty gun, and I'll put the nice gun in my glove so I don't have to carry it.
Smart. Yeah. So you give him the old switcheroo. Genius. But yes. I feel like that is a fine stopping point, you guys. I'll go ahead and long rest you. And yeah, you have effectively cleared 2 of the 5 zones that you need to. And presumably by the time you've cleared all 5, you'll have a good idea of where this soul anchor is. Go there, get the heart, send yourself to hell. Go to that place that you've already been now once, fight your way through all them levels, and confront Barzillai at the end. So yeah. Questions, comments, concerns? All feeling good?
The feeling that 8th floor devil boy, what the fuck is his name? M something?
Mephistopheles
may just kind of want to see Barzillai dead. Maybe kind of done with his bullshit.
Kind of sounds like it.
Oh. He is inscrutable.
Ugh.
For what it's worth, I do think the prison plane is certainly the hardest one of the ones that they have.
It's
Oh,
just
the
annoying.
hardest
Yeah.
It's
event.
just annoying.
Yeah, I was like, they'll probably not trigger it, or if they do, I'll get 1 person. I didn't think I'd get 3. If I had gotten all 4 of you, we would have just gone to that part of the book. And we would have just skipped this whole section, because you'd have all been there.
You're just had
And then
to play
Mephistopheles would be like, you're here. How convenient. I suppose I can get the heart.
I like how he knows where the heart's at, but he's not going to help us.
Well, I mean, everything has a price. What would you offer him? There's all sorts of questions. So yeah, just so, you know, you guys will probably, you know, in talking with Rexus, you learn on this, hell is structured into like 9 layers, and each layer has like a different theme. So Mephistopheles, so the story behind Caina is that Asmodeus, the main lord of hell, the guy who everyone in Cheliax worships, he found what would be called Caina as like this dystopian place that had all of this like flesh and stuff growing all over it. Like it was just like an infinite flesh way. And he stripped all of the flesh off of it. And from that flesh, he made Mephistopheles. And all that was left were the bones. So it's called the Bones of Hell. And it's this plane where there's just these towers of bone everywhere. And then Mephistopheles became like the emissary of contracts. So he's all about contracts and stuff.
Nice.
He's kind of like Asmodeus's proxy. Whereas other like devils might like vie for power and stuff. Mephistopheles is like Asmodeus's right-hand man. So, yeah.
Nice.
Anyway.
Oh, so they could bring some context as to why he wants to shore up this little Kintargo hole.
Yeah, that's why he was more involved in it. So, but yeah, until next time, everyone. Thanks for playing.
Bye.
Good game, kids.
Good game. Good game. Good decisions, everyone. Good decisions.
Yeah, everyone made wonderful ones.